Hello everybody, we are gathered here today at Dive Studio to introduce a brand new podcast!
Boo, 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 boo.
Which is titled Get Real,
Get
hosted
Real.
by BM from Card, which is me.
Ashley, you might know me from Ladies Code.
And Peniel from B2B.
We're here not only as K-pop stars, but as three really good friends
Yeah.
that are just here to have a conversation and let you guys in on the fun.
Yes. Let you guys know what our perspectives are on certain things that you guys probably contemplate or, have trouble deciding and whatnot. And probably talk to your friends about, such as...
Adulthood.
Oh my god.
Real life issues, relationship
gosh.
problems,
Oh my gosh.
career.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, you guys might have seen us a lot on stage and on different variety shows, but have you ever seen us in a setting like this where we talk freely about whatever we want and about what's really on our minds and what we've been wanting to talk about for the last how many years? If you guys want all the tea, make sure to tune in and watch all the full episodes on youtube.com/divepods and
Also subscribe to our Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and also leave a review there. I think that might be the only place you can leave a review, actually.
Yes, 5 stars please. And to be the first to expose, Ashley is
I'm Ashley.
I'm BM.
And I'm Peniel.
Woo! All right.
Our perspectives. Yes.
And today we're gonna talk about something that I think we can all relate to, and we'll have a lot to talk about. It's going solo, moving out on your own, paying your bills, and just doing all that adult stuff on your
Taxes.
own. Yes.
Making them big boy moves.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm a big boy now. Do you guys remember that?
Yes.
Okay.
Was that Huggies?
I don't remember.
So before we start, if there's anything you guys want to hear our take on, you guys can interact with us on our socials or comment under the show's videos on youtube.com/divestudios. And also make sure to subscribe to the shows on Spotify and Apple Podcast. And please leave a 5-star review. So
No
it'll,
less.
Yes. And
Yes.
help others to join in on the fun. And
Even
help
if you
us out as
didn't
well.
like it. 5 stars. And only good comments.
When did you guys first move out of your guys' house? Was it when you guys came to Korea?
Yeah.
My
You were-
case, dude, when I first came here, I moved into what's called a 고시원 here.
Oh.
So I lived in like
Isn't it? It's like a hostel, right?
yeah, it's like a hostel, but it's like a 6 by 5 room.
There's literally just a bed in there, right?
There's a bed, a small little desk that's right next to my closet, which is like a 2 by 2. And like I have like little shelves upstairs, and like there's literally like nothing you could put it there.
And you have to share
Wow.
the bathroom and the kitchen?
You have to share the bathroom, the kitchen. Yeah, and there's like a gang of like weirdos in there. There
Wait,
were a gang of weirdos.
How much is that?
It was cheap. That's why I got there. It was like $300. 30만 원?
A month?
A month?
Yeah, a month.
And no down payment?
No down payment, no nothing. I just pay monthly, just boom. First payment, 300, and then
You get to stay for
I
a
just,
month.
I just get to stay
How long
Oh,
did
wow.
you live there for?
for like a year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, my next door roommate was my member. Before the Koshi one, I had a 1 room.
Okay.
Yeah, I was living in a little studio. Oh man, there's a lot that happened in that studio. We're gonna get into that later, but yeah, that was the first time I ever moved out of my parents' house
So how come you went from the 1 room to the Koshi one?
because I wanted to save money.
Oh.
Yeah, that Koshi one, that landlord, she dipped me so much money. I was paying her in cash. Yeah, I was paying her in cash.
Oh, the one room?
Yeah,
The
the one
studio
room.
apartment?
Yeah, so I was paying the cash. She was doing the utilities and all the gas and all that stuff for me. And she would just be like, oh, it came out to this much. Give me this much cash. And all I had was
but
cash.
She was jacking up the
She was
prices.
jacking up the
Yeah.
prices. Yeah. Because like, it was funny. The last month I came out of that one room, she was like, it's this much. And then for some reason, after like 9 months, I was like, can I see the papers? And she showed me the papers and they're like $200, $300 less than how much she always tells me.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, I didn't like live here any differently. I didn't use the utilities any differently. Why is it so cheap this time? She was like, I don't know. I was like,
So you didn't get your money back?
I couldn't.
Oh.
I had no proof
The
of
200, 300 was your monthly thing for the Koshi ones each
Yeah,
time.
dude. And I kept paying in cash.
Wow.
So there was no record of how much I
Right.
gave her. So
Oh,
Dang.
that's shady.
yeah, moving out, I think that was probably my first struggle dealing, because I couldn't speak Korean then either. So
That's why she was jipping you.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
exactly why she was dripping me. She was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna steal all this American boy's money." Like, oh, he from America. He probably got that money.
Oh
It's
god.
just, yeah, she was taking.
But you save some like debt. Like you don't have as much debt from your trainee days, right? Because if you had the dorm, then they would have like.
It counts towards your debt
Yeah.
usually.
Oh, it does. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Usually.
That's probably one of the reasons why my parents told me not to go in yet.
Yeah, it might have been something. Yeah.
Yeah.
It might have been a wise decision.
Yeah,
But
save money. That landlord came up though off of me. Shh.
well, like I'm experiencing it now because I just started living by myself. Like,
Mhm.
after 28 years of living with other people, like members and my family, it's the first time I ever like started living independently. So I'm
How long
like
has
new
it
to
been?
this. It's been 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah, because
You-
I
Woo!
moved in March.
You love it
So
right
I'm
now.
like a
huh?
baby. But yeah, I love it. I mean, I like it, but at the same time, it does get kind of like lonely. And because it's like all new, I don't really know what I'm doing. And like, I was like so overwhelmed because the first month, like after the first month I lived there, I got all the bills and I was like, there's like so many things I have to pay.
Oh yeah.
And like, I pay like utilities bills on top of that. And I'm just like, why? Like, there's so much like money going out.
Yeah.
That's why I can't save money. It
Yeah.
just keeps going out.
Yeah, and then even when I was looking for housing, I didn't realize how expensive like housing in Seoul was.
Oh, it's so
And-
expensive.
Yeah, and you have to like make compromises because there are so many things that you want your place to look like, but then you realize like in reality that can't happen with your budget. And then and it was so frustrating because all the houses look so similar because you know how in Korea like opis텔s and like villas and apartments they all look pretty
they're fairly
similar.
similar.
They all have like small windows, like really crappy bathrooms. Like unless you live in a big house, you don't have a bathtub, and that's one thing I really wanted because I love taking baths. But it's really hard to find a house with a bathtub.
Hey, but bathtubs are so much money.
Why?
It's water plus gas each time you do it.
That's
So,
true.
Yeah, I moved into the house and then I used to take a bath like every day, and then I saw the gas price and I was like, oh nope.
Oh, it takes.
Oh shoot!
I was like, never taking a bath again.
Yeah, you
You
have a
gotta
point.
leave that water running for a while.
Yeah, because I love baths too. And then we would get, the bath bombs.
Mm-hmm.
We would get like presents of those too. So like every single day, like after scheduling and stuff, I'd be like,
It's the best.
I'm like, oh yeah, and it smells good too.
Mhm.
And then I got my bill and I was like, oh no. So,
Only
yeah.
on special days.
Oh man, have you guys ever dealt with any weird landlords? I want to bring up I'm not done talking about her. I'm not done.
He's got a lot more to
Yeah,
dish
bro.
out. I don't know. I don't think because like in Korea, a lot of the places, the landlords, it's like they don't own like the buildings. It's like each like room. It's
right?
like a different landlord. I
Right,
guess
right, right.
for a lot of places.
Right, right,
Because
right.
I lived in like a lot of like 1-room studio apartments, like opistel,
Right.
stuff like that. So then yeah, usually for those, it's like different owner for each room.
Mm.
So I didn't really have problems with landlords.
Like communication or like talking to them or anything.
I
No
didn't
problems.
really have.
Dang, you lucky. What about you?
I mean, my landlord lives in 전라북도, so she lives like 3 hours away.
Oh, she far.
Wow.
So
okay.
I never have the chance to see her. I only saw her on the day I signed a contract, and that's it. There's like a
Came all the way
separate.
up to sign the. Wow.
There's a separate guy who is in charge of like the villa,
Uh-huh.
and we text him if there's any problems. But
Uh-huh.
I never talked to the landlord, thank God. But I
Dang.
did have a crazy landlord in New York when I was living with my family because my landlord lived downstairs, like in the basement, which was illegal.
Mhm.
And we
Oh,
lived
what?
on the first floor, and she's kind of old, and the house is old too, so it would creak every time you walk.
Uh-huh.
And my brother and my mom and I come home pretty late,
Mhm.
so after 12, even after 10 p.m. when we just walk around, she would get the broom and
Like knock on the ceiling?
yeah, knock on the ceiling and be like, "Be quiet!" Like,
What? And
I
you would
can't
hear that?
sleep. I could hear it.
Dang.
And we would have to
What?
tiptoe around like in our own home. And
the
one
heck?
one time she was complaining because my brother plays like he has the gaming keyboard, right? So it's like da, 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 da. Like
She
it
could
makes
hear that
noise.
too?
She came upstairs and she was like, "I could hear your keyboard. Stop playing games." And it was like, and we were like, "What?" Like
what are we supposed to do here? Then?
Yeah, and she complained about us like turning on the water and like taking a shower late at night. And I was like, how are we supposed to wash up?
You should have just been passive aggressive and been like, Christmas present,
Earplugs?
earplugs.
No, so
Christmas,
like my
Christmas
mom
present,
tried.
noise
My
canceling
mom
headphones.
tried saying like, why don't you use earplugs? And she was like, I can't sleep with it on. Blah blah blah. So I mean, they're still dealing with that because they still live there.
Oh,
Yeah, but.
I mean, you can't do nothing. She's a landlord.
You said she's old, but she's still got good hearing. Dang.
True.
Well, only when it's like only when it's like during nights she can hear well, but I don't know. I guess she's a really sensitive sleeper, which I can relate to because I'm
You're a sensitive
too.
sleeper?
Yeah, I wake up to any like little noise.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I'm a pretty sensitive sleeper too.
Mm. I'm a light sleeper.
Yeah, there was one point where I think it got worse when I was stressed.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
I woke up to my feet rubbing against each other.
So you woke yourself up.
I woke myself up. And then I was like pissed at myself. I was like, calm down, bro.
You woke yourself up, got mad at yourself, and then calm yourself down back to
Yeah, I
sleep.
was like sleeping. I rubbed my feet. I was like,
Oh my god! Wait, so tell us about your landlord.
yeah.
Damn, she was like, I don't want to be mean, but she was always grouchy, and like every time I see her, I felt it from the beginning. But like when I first came to Korea, I wanted to be like a super nice American boy, you know, because I heard my friends told me before I came here, I was like, hey, if you don't listen to people and like you don't respect your elders, you can get smacked.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't have any friends out here. I'm not trying to get smacked. I have no backup. Right. And then, yeah, that lady, she was always grouchy. And there was always this thing. Every time she asked for the money, like starting like the 3rd or 4th month, she would kind of like hesitate before saying her numbers. You know what I mean? So I was just like, okay, red flag there. And then towards the
I
end,
don't get it.
So she would be like, because like she's making up the numbers. So she'd be like, it feels like
she needs to like have it written down or something.
Wait,
you know
isn't
what I mean?
the rent the same every month?
The rent is the same, but she collects utilities, the gas, and all that for me. I don't know how that happened. How the hell did that even happen?
You kind of dug your own grave.
Yeah, right. I mean,
how did that happen?
See, these are the struggles of like first starting to like move out and not knowing crap about what you got to do and what you got to know. I think being aware of all that stuff is kind of the most important part. Like someone could jip you like this. But yeah, getting gypped money, living in the Koshiwon. After I moved into the Koshiwon, bro, there's a lot of like, I don't want to say weird. I want to say like very unique. Yeah, there's a lot of unique people there. Very to themselves, but at the same time, like, you ever see like people that kind of just never try to interact, but is always like looking your way? Like, I don't know.
They're just like always on alert. Or
yeah.
Are people that live in Koshiwons usually like students? Like,
that's what I thought.
Yeah,
there were a lot of old people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a lot of old people, and like there was a lot of people that kind of like I had no problems with anyone, but my member used to have problems with someone. Like they used to like knock on each other's doors and not doors, but like
walls?
the walls and stuff. But like
you
it wasn't.
You could hear everything, right?
Yeah, you can hear everything. I'm not a very sensitive sleeper, so like I'll sleep through stuff, but I'll hear a lot of stories of like people like shut the f up and like in Korea and like they'll be like cussing each other out and stuff.
Wow.
Like,
Through the wall?
Through the wall. Yeah. And then the funny thing is,
you can't do it in person.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like we'll come out of the door, me and my member be like, we gotta go, and then she'll come out and they'll just like look the other way.
Oh my
like,
god!
You're not gonna say nothing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there were a lot of experiences like that.
But I mean, it's like, yeah, if it's like Koshiwon, I bet you can hear everything. Because even like some like studio apartments, like just apartments in general and stuff, like you can still hear stuff.
Yeah, they could hear TVs. Like I kind of got like my door. Oh, yo, I was sleeping one time and someone just went goom, 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 goom because of my TV. I didn't know who it was. I got scared. I was like, oh.
Were you blasting it?
No, it was like maybe I was a little bit. Maybe I was a little bit.
Yo, but I got the cops called on me once.
For TV?
No, because my music was too loud, I guess.
At your house right now?
No, my old house.
Oh.
The one I went to that one time?
the one you came to last
Hey, those
time?
Bose speakers are, they hit though.
They do,
They
but,
knock pretty
no,
hard.
but the thing is, it wasn't on that loud. And then it's like, you know, like if they like came and like asked me to turn it down once or something, you know,
Right.
and then they called the cops, they would have been like, okay, but
They
like,
True,
just
true,
straight
true.
up call the
yeah,
cops.
but you know, like I'm at home, like when I'm at home, I'm not wearing anything. And then I like the doorbell rings at like 3 a.m. I was like, what? Who is that? I was like, what? I was so scared.
Did you answer it? Like,
What? So then I looked at, cause you know Korea has like the cameras and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I see police, so I was like,
oh my god.
oh, 잠시만요. I was like, oh, where's my boxers? Where's my boxers? I was like, because it's like the police. I was like, I feel like I have to open it up fast.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, just boxers. And I was like, I was only wearing boxers, and I opened it, and then one of the police was a female. So I was like, oh, 잠시만요. I was like, oh, hold up.
Put some pants on right quick.
I put clothes on. I was like, oh, then they're like, oh, we got a noise complaint.
Mhm.
I was like, a noise complaint? And they're like, yeah, your music's too loud. But then my music was still on, and then even the police were like, oh, it's not that loud. I was like, what? And then they were like, oh, can you just turn it down just in case? I was like, oh, yeah, sure.
Dang.
So
Did they
they-
tell you who called?
No,
No.
I don't even know
I
who
don't think you
called.
can.
Maybe you had
They
like
wouldn't know.
someone like the person who lives below Ashley, but like they just want to be low key.
Okay. So pros and cons: living alone versus living with family.
Uh-huh. Oh, you list it?
Yeah.
I miss living with family.
I thought you
Me
were about to
too.
say something.
I miss
living
the
with family.
food. My mom's cooking.
Yeah,
I
that's
miss,
number
I miss
one.
the food.
Mm.
There's like someone to take care of you when you're sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Being
And
sick
then
by yourself sucks.
There's always food at home.
if you live with your parents, they usually pay for like the utilities and
Yeah.
stuff.
that's
They pay for
oh,
everything.
that's one.
Uh-huh.
Yup.
And it's like free food, you know, your parent, or for you at least.
Mm.
Like they cook you everything. Um
I feel like we've been away from our parents so long that like that's like there's no cons to living away from family right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's like
I mean, it's like a pro of living by yourself is like you have your own space, you know?
Mm.
And then it's like you can sleep whenever you want. You can make like a limited amount of noise, like as much as you want. Like you could be louder when you live by yourself than like when you live with family.
True.
You can like invite whoever at like any time.
True.
Um
You could be loud. You can invite whoever.
yeah.
mm.
And then
Oh, Peniel, we know what you're doing.
Whoa. And then wait, well, how'd you connect those two dots?
Huh?
Huh?
I don't know. Am I the only one?
Stop acting innocent.
Yeah.
Stop.
She was like, mm-hmm.
She was like, I agree with it. No.
Yeah, but there's
Yeah.
definitely, no financial burden when you're living with your parents.
Mm.
And when you live alone, you got to take care of everything yourself. But for me, like I used to have a curfew when I lived with my parents, even when I was like in college.
Oh, what?
Yeah, my mom
Oh.
expected me to be home by 10 p.m. and that was very frustrating. So
Is that why you set your curfew for yourself?
what? No, that was the rule for that
No,
our
it
company
wasn't.
gave.
Oh, it was a
Yeah.
company rule?
No.
Yeah,
Maybe like the first year.
yeah, that's true.
But after that, she would be like, oh, it's 10. I gotta go home.
Because I'm so used to it because I lived like
Like,
that for
what?
so long.
But then like
Dang.
her members would be out later. I'm just like, don't you guys gotta? And she's like, oh, that's just Ashley 언니.
She
I
goes,
was like, oh, I was like, what? I was like, what the? Hold on, what? I was like, she has her own curfew.
No, at first it was set for everyone. We were like, okay, get home by 11 latest. But then, they love like hanging out. I mean, I do too. But then they were like, one day they're like, can we just not do this anymore? And I was like, okay, fine. But then I'm so used to going home early. And I feel safer when I go home early because I don't want to walk around the streets late
like
at
in
night.
the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Even right now, when I go home, like when I get dropped off near my house late at night, I like have my cell phone flash on and I'm like walking like this when I walk. I'm like going home like this.
Boy.
Because I always
Shoot
get
your
so,
own music video.
like I don't know. I'm kind of paranoid, but it's better to
No,
be safe.
There
than-
are some like crazy stuff that happens at night to girls, and you're definitely more vulnerable at night. You got pepper spray on you?
I actually bought it because there was a man who followed me to my dorm.
What?
Yeah. I went to the gym and then I was going home. This was when I lived with Sojang and Jun이. He looked very messy and he had a suitcase and he was wearing a hat. And I was like, and then he followed me like, this is the door where I put the keypad, the password, and I go in. So he was like right in front of the door, and I was like, 아저씨 왜 그러세요? And he was like, he was like disheveled. He was like, 몰라. Like I don't even know what he said. He was just like,
You told him like, what are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I was like, 왜 그러세요? And then
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was like, So then I was like, for a split second, I was like, what the hell do I do? Because like, what if I try to go in and he follows us in and like he kills us all? Or like, I don't know, do I have to like kick him? Like, and then I just like put in the keypad really quick because it was only 4 like numbers. So then, and then I like shut the door and then I was like, and I started crying and because my members were there, I was like, someone follow me home.
that
And
would've
then
been like,
we called the
what the-
security and then we checked the CCTV, but then he had a hat on and everything, so there was no way. And then we saw him going back down, and then my apartment's confusing because the lobby is not actually the first floor. It's like you have to go down to like
The
B1,
basement? Yeah.
and he clearly didn't know that because he got off at lobby and then he got back on the elevator and then he pressed the
B1 or
the B1
whatever.
and then he left. And then I was like, after that, like I bought pepper spray for myself and all the members and I carried it around for a while. But
is it strong? The pepper spray?
yeah, I
Oh, yeah.
sprayed it outside before and it was like, wait, so did you guys ever live with roommates or you guys always just lived alone?
Yeah, for how many years? 2, 3, 4 years?
Dang,
Four-
you did
4 to 5 years?
You lived in Sukso for 4 to 5 years?
Yeah, like including trainee years.
Dude, I lived in
Dang.
Sukso for 8 years.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
Did you-
yeah, you did.
Did you guys have your own rooms?
not until the
Ah.
last 2 years.
No, I didn't.
So you
For-
always shared the room?
Yeah, for the full. So for when I was a trainee in the beginning, so I got to the dorm, right? And
Yeah.
then I won't say who he is because he debuted.
Uh-huh.
But it was only me and him in the sukso.
Mm-hmm.
But then there were like 2 empty rooms, right?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, his room, my room. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
But then he was like, oh, Hyung. It's like, yeah, I guess like he's been in the sukso by himself for a while. Because
Uh-huh.
at JYP, it's like the sukso, it's for foreign
Foreigners only.
foreigner trainees.
Mhm.
No, and then if you live like outside of Seoul.
Oh,
right,
okay,
right,
okay.
right.
So everyone
And then,
lives
yeah.
far.
Yeah, and then if you
Okay.
become a 교육생,
Uh-huh.
so it's like 연습생, 교육생, project, and then you debut. So if you become 교육생, you can come into the sukso too. But at
Oh,
that
okay.
time, yeah, it was just me and him because he lived outside of Seoul.
Right.
And he was like, "Oh, Hyung," it's like, like we can share the same room. And it was like my first time meeting him, so I didn't want to be like, no, you get your room, I got mine. So I was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, we can share the same room. I was like, yeah. I was like,
Oh,
okay.
So
And then just starting, like we had an empty room, but we shared the same room.
for how
For
long?
how long?
How long? How long was that room empty for? Like while you guys were sharing the room.
Like a few months, and then like other trainees came in, but
Oh my
he was like,
God.
I think like because he was the only trainee that lived in the sukso for a while, so I think he
Right.
was like lonely. So he was like, finally someone to play with.
Live with
He was like,
me.
yay!
Oh my
So
God.
I like felt kind of bad, so I was like, there's an empty room. Okay, I was
Did
like, okay, roommates.
Did you guys match well though? Like as far as like
yeah, he was like
cleaning
super
and-
polite and everything.
Okay,
Oh.
okay, okay.
If anything, I was probably more like messy than him.
Okay.
Oh.
So yeah, I was like, but yeah, cause there's an empty room, like we put like all our stuff in there,
Oh, okay.
and then like it was just the bunk beds
yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
room. We
Oh,
literally just like
bunk
slept in there, and then when someone else came, we were like, oh man, we gotta move all our stuff into our room. And then,
Oh,
yeah, that, and then at one point, so it started off with just us two, and then at one point at JYP trainee, like we moved to a bigger sukso, but there was 13 people living in there at one point.
how many rooms?
From what I remember, 3 rooms, I think.
13 people in 3 rooms?
Yeah.
Oh,
Were people living in the living room
But-
too?
No. But one of the rooms was pretty big. It had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6 bunk beds?
bunk beds. So like 3 bunk beds pretty
Oh,
much.
okay,
So like
okay.
6 beds.
Mhm.
And then maybe 4 bunk beds. I don't remember. And then
Dang.
my room had 1 bunk bed and then like just 1 normal bed.
Mm.
And then the room across from me had 1 bunk bed. So I don't know. But there was like 13
How many
people living in there.
bathrooms?
2 bathrooms.
For 13 people?
Yeah.
Man,
Oh my
getting
God.
ready
And
must
then-
be. Psh.
Yeah, and then when I went into Cube, I went like straight into like B2B pretty
B2B?
much.
Mhm.
So there was 7 of us, but we shared 1 room.
7 people in one room?
Yeah, it was 3 3 bunk beds and then just 1 mattress on the floor. And then like we would do like rock, paper, scissors, or like, you know, the ladder game.
Yeah.
We would like do that stuff every once in a while, and we would like switch beds and stuff.
Oh, no.
Dang.
But yeah, it was like because there were 7 of us, and there were only 1, 2, 3 rooms, right? And then one of the rooms, the manager lived in. So then there was like that room, and then like a closet that was attached to the master bedroom that the 7 of us slept in. So then, because we have so much stuff, because there's 7 of us, we had to use one of the rooms as like storage slash closet, and then the closet room as an actual closet too. So we only had 1 room for the 7 of us to sleep in.
Dang, bro. One thing for me is I hate mixing my stuff with like another person's stuff.
Yeah, I hate that too.
Yeah, I like making it clear like this is my area, this is my storage stuff. If you touch it, you can die. Don't go in this area.
I have that mentality too.
Right.
Like,
so dang, that must have been.
So it's like, luckily for me, it's like I wear boxers, not even briefs. It's just like straight up boxers, and not a lot of people in Korea wear that.
Oh yeah.
They didn't touch my underwear. And then like my socks,
Uh-huh.
it's like the, you know, when you go to Costco, they got like the cheap like Adidas, Puma, like
Oh yeah,
they
like
sell them in like
big
like,
bulks.
Yeah. It would be like those. So then it's like my socks were like noticeably different from everyone else's too. So then they wouldn't really touch my stuff that much. So I was like, all right, that's good. That's good.
Dang.
I had
But-
someone like stealing my stuff.
What?
Yeah.
Hold
So
on.
when you were training,
One of your
Yeah.
members? Oh.
No.
see, it's stuff like this that makes me feel like don't come in my area.
Yeah.
What did they steal?
Wait, at
They-
Cube or at?
I'm not gonna say.
Fine.
Just say her name on here. Shout her
No.
out one time.
But yeah, we were both trainees, and then when I would leave, sometimes because I would leave earlier, she would just come into my room and she would borrow my stuff, but without asking. And then I would always come home to find something missing, and then the next day it would be back where it was. so like
Yeah, so it wasn't stealing. She just borrowed without asking.
Just for a day.
Yeah, just for a day.
She won't mind. What
Yeah.
did she borrow?
I would
Like
hate
my
that
belt, my
Huh.
jewelry,
Oh,
sometimes my
hell
clothes, and I was like, and I would see her wearing it, but then I was too like, I couldn't say anything. Like, I don't know.
You're too nice, that's why.
No, I was too like sissy. Like I should have just been like, isn't that mine? But I was like,
You just give her the
acted
look.
like I just acted like I didn't see it, and maybe that's why she took advantage of it more because she was
Yeah, of
younger than me.
course.
But I didn't say anything, so she was probably like, oh, it's okay if I do this, and then like,
You shared a room with her too, or she
no,
was?
she was in the other room.
That's even more messed
What,
up.
she
So
went out of her way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at my jewelry stuff. Oh no, I think I
she
like
would
Ashley's
just, like,
better.
come into my room and just kind of like, what should I borrow today?
Did
This
you
one.
ever confront her about it?
No,
How many times did you feel like she was borrowing your stuff?
like countless times.
You are a
Right.
sissy.
I
I
know.
would have said something.
If it was now, I would have said something definitely. But back then, I was just like, I don't know. I was too.
You're just too nice. I think you're just too
No, that's
nice.
not nice. That's just stupid. I was stupid.
How old were you?
I was 20.
You were old enough to know.
Yeah,
you were
I let her
stupid.
step all over me.
Yeah,
but
I
it's
seen
fine.
girls in my high school get down for stuff like that. Stole my lipstick.
No, yeah, I hate that though. Because I remember a trainee wore my socks, and I called him out right away. And
What do you
it's
say?
it's like we dance and stuff, you know. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
said,
you
I don't want to
sweat.
wear that.
Yeah.
So then I was like, yo, where'd you get those socks? And he was like, oh, my mom bought them for me. I was like, you know, you can only get those in America, right? And he was like,
My mom went to
and he
America
was
to
like,
buy
he was
them.
like, and then he was like, oh,
He
Hyung,
lied.
he was like, Hyung, I'm sorry. He was
Why
like,
would
oh,
he
they're
lie?
they're your socks. So I was like, oh no, it's so cool. Just give me the socks right now. I was like, just give me the socks right now.
Take them off.
And he took them off, and I was like, oh wait, did you dance? He was like, yeah. I was like, oh, and I threw it away.
Oh my god, you threw them away.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, nice try on that lie.
But I think it's better to live with like trainees or people you work with rather than like random roommates that you find on like Craigslist or something.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
my
I could
friends
never
have
do
really
that.
bad experiences.
Your friends got Craigslist roommates?
Yeah, they were
I
desperate.
didn't even know they
sometimes.
had Craigslist roommates.
Yeah,
Yeah,
What?
they look for roommates like that too.
Wait, isn't Craigslist like for used items?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But there's people on there
There's
too.
people. It's
Yeah,
like
they
for
look for-
anything
yeah.
pertaining to money.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
like
I
if-
thought you just like sold used stuff on there, but roommates too. Okay.
Yeah, especially in
Oh,
college, you know? Like in New York City, if you get like an apartment, it's like $3,000. You can't live there alone, so you have
Wow.
to get roommates.
Yeah.
On
I think like
Craigslist?
it's like an almost an act of desperation. Like if you can't pay the whole 3,000, you
Right,
gotta split
right,
it 1,500,
right.
1,500.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And
Does Korea have Craigslist?
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe something like they
Oh,
have
it does?
Craigslist. Oh wow.
there is.
Wow.
Oh.
All right. Anyways.
If you guys if anyone needs a roommate, you know where to
I don't need a
look.
room.
You only had to live with Joseph, right? You didn't have to live with anyone else.
There were other so me and Joseph, we always shared a room together, but
Mhm.
there's also 2 bunk beds in that room. So there was always 2 other trainees that were like coming in and out, in and out. Like, if
Oh,
they
so
were-
you guys were like set.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the
yeah.
other two were like
Yeah. The only one sleeping on my bed was me. And then our manager slept in the room across from us. Man, I don't even want to speak about like Sukso times because like, were you pretty clean? You said you were pretty messy, right?
It's like I was like pretty clean with besides clothes, I was pretty clean with other stuff, but then like clothes, I'm the type that I don't really throw away clothes.
So you just had a lot.
So I just had a lot.
Ah.
I would like
Dang.
buy new clothes, but then like I would be like, okay, I should probably throw this away, but then I'd be like, like I wore
Me too.
this
I'm
when I was a
hoarder.
trainee when I first came to Korea. No, it's memories.
Me too.
I would like, so I would just keep clothes for a
Everything.
really long time, but then I ended up finding because like my closet like it broke, so I was like, okay, I think I need to throw away some clothes.
Did you clean like pretty often with your other members?
Oh no, we had like a 청소 이모.
Oh,
So she would like come in and clean for us.
We didn't have none of that. Like that's some luxury stuff right there, dude. Oh man, DSP needs to step her game up.
Yo, DSP, come on.
So we hardly cleaned our.
Oh god.
So in the beginning, towards the beginning, we cleaned pretty well, but
That always happens. So
Yeah.
we did pretty well. But like as time went on, like you're a trainee, you train like 10 to 12 hours a day. You come in, you're not thinking about cleaning, and that's like almost every day, right?
You're just like shower and sleep, bro. Yeah.
Our sukso was a shithole, bro. Like
Oh,
there
God.
was trash everywhere, like munji, like in every other corner, like dust everywhere. Our TV, bro, it was like our TV. It was half gray when we watch it, and that's because of the layer of dust.
No one
Oh,
thought
for
of
some
wiping
reason-
it.
I mean, I wiped it down every now and then, but like
You wiped half. You're like, all right, you wiped out the half. That's why it's only half gray.
that's how I felt though. That's how I felt though. I was like, why I gotta wipe the whole thing?
When
Like
nobody else
the whole
does it?
cleaning. Yeah, there was like
Mm.
no one was really cleaning, bro. Our manager when we were moving out, you know how you gotta clean everything? We had to
Yeah.
pay an extra $300 for the cleaning lady to come and just take all the extra shit out.
Oh.
And when my manager first came, when we were in the middle of our cleanup is another thing that sucks when moving. When we're moving out,
I
our
hate
manager
moving.
came in. The first thing he said was, "I gotta take off my shoes in here." I think the floor outside is cleaner than the floor in here.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
my
we
God.
were just like, we looked again and we're just like,
Yeah, maybe.
oh, I guess yeah, it is. 그러네. What weird.
Oh my gosh. That's why
Yeah.
you set like, chores and like days and, when to clean. We did that.
We don't do
Boys
that.
Like who's in charge of
the,
like food garbage? Who's in charge of the laundry? Who's in charge of vacuuming? Who's in charge of mopping?
It
You
might be
think two guys are gonna be that
Yeah.
organized? Like, really?
Who gonna put on the rubber gloves today? Is it
Yeah,
you?
it's
Is it
like,
me?
yeah, hold on. Let me check the list.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday. It's your turn.
all right,
It's
all
your
We
right,
did
all right.
that. We're like, if it wasn't clean and it was Tuesday, we'd be like, 야, 어제 청소 누구였어? And then we'd be like,
I
"너
bet
You guys would
only
grill
you
each
did
other?
that.
No,
I
not
bet
grill
only
each
you
other.
did that.
No, we all did that. Be like, 어제 청소 안
okay.
했어요. Like, 어제 you didn't take the food garbage out yesterday. And we will like call each other out and be like, oh, sorry, like we'll do it. Like,
Is
those,
it we or
Oh.
was it you?
it was everyone.
Okay.
It was everyone.
All right.
Okay.
So when you would call them out,
Uh-huh.
were your roommates all pretty chill about like like if you're like, hey yo, you didn't do the dishes yesterday? Would they just be like, oh sorry, my bad, I'll do it, or would they be like, sorry, my bad,
She's
I'll
the
do it?
언니.
No, they
She's
were
the
all like,
oldest.
because they
Everyone was, like,
know,
chill?
like they forgot. It's their fault. So they were
Oh,
like,
okay,
oh,
okay.
할게요.
That's a
And
clean agreement.
They know she's the oldest. She's from New York. They know they're gonna get the
no,
backhand
I
if
was
they
the
don't listen.
baby. What are you talking about?
If they give her attitude, it's like, what you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think living with your parents is super comfortable. You know, it's like the cleaning,
Yeah.
the bills, food, everything. It's like
Yeah.
they like do it all for you. But I think it like spoils you too much.
Mm.
So I'm glad I moved out because I learned like a bunch of
True that.
responsibilities.
True
Yeah,
that.
me
True
too.
that.
And then I was like, oh, this is real life adulting.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Big boy life.
so it's like, yeah, I'm glad I moved out though, because you have to learn it sooner or later.
You do.
Mm.
You
So,
do.
you know, yeah.
The earlier, the better too.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
like-
why.
Into your adult years.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know water and electricity and gas, like it was all separate.
Yeah.
Some
was-
money.
Took it for
Yeah.
granted.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad I moved out.
Me too.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First time.
I
But
think we're all happy. We're all
Yeah.
comfortable. Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about living alone and, living independently from our perspective, but
Mhm.
we have some stories.
Reddit.
So we're going to
Oh.
read it and see if we have any advice to give.
This is a story from Choco Nesquik.
That sounds good.
That brings me back. Okay.
The powder.
Mm-hmm.
In bold, she wrote, she said, sorry, I can't see that well.
Huh.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Am I the bad roommate for getting mad at my roommate for opening the blinds to make it brighter in the room dorm because she could see better? Mind you, I was sleeping and it woke me up. I'm always respectful of her and my other roommate's space. If I can't see well, I turn on my lamp or go outside to study room to work. She too has a lamp. It was like 10:30 a.m. when she did it. I didn't get much sleep from the night before and I didn't have class till 1:30.
Edit.
Edit. I should add that. Oh, so edit means it was added, right?
Mhm.
Okay. She also added, I should add that this was the only time I decided to sleep in. She's typically out and about on days where I have my 1:30 class, but I'm usually awake by or before 10 a.m. The room isn't dark around that time either. Also, I didn't yell at her or cuss at her. I just said, really? And her response was my title.
Oh, sorry, I can't
Sorry,
see
I
that
can't
well.
see
Oh,
that
okay.
well. Another thing is that she isn't like this with my other roommate. If my other roommate is there and is asleep, she doesn't open the blinds up.
What?
That's weird. She will do what I do, like turn on her lamp or work in a study room, and that roommate sleeps in more than I typically do as well.
Okay.
What?
That's kind of.
Why?
Well, I mean,
Why would you-
I mean, she might just be more comfortable with this roommate, you know? Like, let's say, like, the three of us are roommates.
Mm,
If you're, like, uncomfortable with someone, then you're usually a
More
little more
respectful,
cautious
right?
and, like,
Yeah,
more
yeah.
respectful. And then, like, if you're comfortable, you're probably just like, like,
Yeah.
No,
so
but
that might be the case. I'm not saying it is. It
Mhm.
might be the case.
It could be because
Yeah.
you wouldn't, to someone you respected, you wouldn't wake up and be like, really? Like,
Yeah.
that's something you would kind of say to someone you're comfortable with. Like, really?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
if you were, like, still kind of awkward, you wouldn't be like, really? You'd be like, oh, it's like, oh, can you close the blinds again? Like, sorry, like, I want to
No, but
But
if
at
it
the
was
same
like my
time-
best friend, I was living with my best friend and another friend, like I would take into consideration more about my best friend's feelings and know like she's tired, so I would be like extra even more cautious, so I wouldn't wake her up.
Is this like a girl guy thing?
Like it's
Mm.
rude that she does it to someone else and she doesn't do it to someone else. Like, is it because she thinks she's not gonna say anything, or like I don't know, like you think I'm like easy, like what?
Dang, she got a lot of stuff harboring in her right now. Did that girl? How many
many
earrings did that
jewelry,
girl-
how
she
many
stole from
belts,
you,
how-
girl? She's harboring a lot right now. But very
Yeah.
true though.
Yeah.
Very true. Come to think of it, I think if my boy was like, "Yo, can you not do that? Like, don't do that, bro," and like, stop turning on the blinds, I'd probably be like, "All right, fine." He would
this
have
is
to make it vocal a couple times to me though.
Yeah.
like,
I mean, once again, or not once again, but I mean, yes, just talk to them about it, I guess. That's like, because you're not really going to know what's going through their mind unless you talk to them about it.
true. And come
Just
to
do
think
what she
about
did.
it, huh?
Just do what she did.
What, like when
Use
she's
the
sleeping?
blender when she's sleeping. And like vacuum while
Is
she's
that what
sleeping.
you did?
No, I'm just kidding.
Is that what you
Don't
did?
do that.
Yeah,
don't
don't
do
do-
that.
that's
I feel
yeah.
like that's what you did.
I did. Stop.
See, girls.
I don't know.
Yo, Harvard,
Did not do that.
Harvard, all of that in there, and that one chance you get, blender, vacuum, all that.
She's gonna like take the blender out of the kitchen and put it in her room.
Right next
Hey,
to
what are
her
you
bed.
doing? Just blending.
Just blending. I wanted to make you some morning juice.
Yo, Harvard, some crazy stuff.
All right, so we talked about adulting and living alone today. And yeah, we're gonna wrap things up now.
Oh, that's it? Oh, okay. All right, okay. All right.
I feel like we
That's
didn't
cool.
get like too much into detail.
Right.
Did we?
I mean, we
Like-
talked about like pros and cons of living with family or roommates and then
Right.
living by ourselves.
Yeah.
Talked about our experiences moving out.
We hit a lot of
Um,
points of where you could kind of get swindled. Is that the right word?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
swindle,
yeah.
yeah. Get swindled, like gypped for money, and you
Better
know,
be careful.
yeah.
Especially
Be
if you're a
careful of-
foreigner. in
Yeah,
Korea.
be
Yeah.
be very very aware of your surroundings when you pick a house and you move out, because you know a lot of our listeners could be people that are now trying to
Move
start
to
their
Korea
yeah.
or something.
just start their big boy life, big girl life.
Yeah, maybe.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, and then yes, know that everything that you use in your house is money as well. You know, lights,
true
water,
that.
gas, everything.
So yeah, if you guys want to stay updated, follow our Instagram and Twitter at The Dive Studios and our YouTube page, youtube.com/Dive Studios podcasts. And yeah, subscribe to our podcast and review by giving it 5 stars and saying some nice things.
5 stars,
Only 5 stars.
no less.
Yes.
And nice things only.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Is there a dislike button? No, right? There better not be.
No.
You
Don't
better
do that.
not.
Don't do that.
5
Don't do that.
stars.
Why would you do that?
We'll be better. Okay, so we're gonna say goodbye. Thank you for listening to this episode, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.
Peace out. Hey, did you like this video? If so, click the subscribe button.
And make sure to turn on your notifications so you don't miss a single video.
And listen to the entire audio episode on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.